there's leadership that requires, certain personalities. But for me, great leaderships are those that build their teams from the inside out. Well, first of all, it's obviously in our case, it's not about the money. Not to say that we're not paying top dollar, because we are. We just can't pay, Coca-Cola dollars or IBM dollars. But I think it's more of the expectation, setting the expectation of what we are about. So for us, it's really about, number one for us, it's job ownership. Especially now that we're work from home. So and surprisingly, believe it or not, the dev team is much more productive in work from home environments.
Right.
Which blew my mind. So these guys are like pushing stuff out, constantly. Not to say that Farah isn't really great at this, but it's instilling in them the type of approach that we have, which is, hey, this is our work, and our work is quality. So it's quality work constantly, and being responsible for that quality work. If you turn out some bugs and it took the system down at 3 a.m. We're not going to call you. Well, of course, we'll email you, but we're not going to try to pull you out of bed at 3 a.m. But please, at 7 a.m., come up and fix it.
Right. And
usually you have guys that are like, sorry, my phone's off until 9 a.m. When I'm supposed to log on. And that, to me, that's not job ownership. Hey, man, you built this thing. You've got to be responsible for it.
So one aspect of your culture is the ownership, which I love. I really love hearing that, because for me, that's really a reflection of leadership. Leadership is really about like taking accountability, and even if you're not leading a team, if you can own your own work and all the shit you're accountable for, I think that's a good sign for anybody who wants to become a leader.
Exactly. Yeah. And in fact, the guys that are now like in leadership roles are the ones that just straight out took ownership. Like, hey, I'll deliver this. I'm not. Nobody wants to demand that you work till 2 or 3 in the morning. And especially like in work from home environments, it's inevitable, because you have COVID roles. I gotta get the groceries during office hours. But it's really setting aside like, hey, I'm expected to give at least 8 hours of my day to this project. So, and you have guys that are putting in those hours at 2 a.m. And I'm not saying don't, nobody wants anyone to lose sleep. But what we discovered, especially now, is sometimes those are the hours that you get the quiet time to focus. Man, it's different for different roles. I think there's one thing I believe in. There's leadership that requires certain personalities. But for me, great leaderships are those that build their teams from the inside out. Like you hire, and this might sound like really platitudes, but you hire and you allow your hires to be the best they can be on their own. We're just like we just kind of set the path and give slight course corrections. But the hires themselves, the team, your team will figure things out if they are what you think they are, what you hired them for. And to me, that's the mark of even with the way Farah leads the team. He'll come in and say, hey, how's it going on this? And you need my advice. Okay. But yeah, I don't believe in tyrants and whips and stuff like that.